Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. Got a chance to sit down with some LSU players yesterday. Greg Penn was there, Savion Jones was there, Mason Taylor was there, Garrett Nussmeier was there, and I've got a story up on LouisianaSports.net right now, speaking basically for the defense and their attitude going into this game with Ole Miss. We all remember last year. And so I asked Greg Penn, who's one of my favorite interviews on this team early on in my time covering him day to day, when he thinks about last year's Ole Miss game, like, what does he think about?
What do you think about when you think about last year's Ole Miss game?
I don't think about it much. I'm gonna lie to you, but I just think about how we did. I mean, as a defense, we didn't do what we were supposed to do to help the offense win that game. So, I mean, I don't really think about that game much, honestly, but hopefully we can go out there and get a win this time. We trying to lock in, like, we know what happened last year, but last year's last year. But at the same time, it's still in the back of our minds for sure. So just going out there and executing every play is definitely something we want to do.
So this game has stuck with the defense. Greg Penn said they didn't think about it a ton, but then came back and said it is still in the back of our minds. Savion Jones took a completely different approach here, and he used the word revenge 5 different times that I heard between the television media and the print media. And this was one of the questions we asked Savion Jones about, the quote-unquote revenge factor in this game with Ole Miss.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way, especially I'm sure all the fans know that we out for revenge and, what happened to us last year, how they stormed the field and stuff like that. So I feel like not only just the players, but like the fans are excited to have that rematch.
And that's a strong word to use is revenge, but it's one that they used multiple times. And you could tell these guys remember that feeling last year. I mean, when you give up 705 yards and 7 touchdowns, I mean, it has to stick with you. And I think for LSU fans, it's probably a little terrifying because it's the same quarterback and the same head coach and maybe the same wide receiver, and it's the same system, and you have a lot of the same guys out there on defense that were there for the worst performance we've ever seen LSU put out on a football field. And that's reasonable to be terrified of that. The sense I got from LSU, and they're young and they're confident football players, and that's the way a lot of them carry themselves, was that they're excited to change the narrative there. And that's their challenge. We'll know at the end of this game whether or not they've gotten better or they haven't. And then we'll have a reasonable expectation for the rest of the season. But I don't know if this comes through in the audio, and we'll see. I'm going to play it for you, and you can be the judge. But it 100% came through in person that Greg Penn physically cannot wait to get out on the football field. I asked him if he could tell that they had a bye week and they felt a little bit fresher, and that Ole Miss was clearly coming off a game 2 weeks in a row that had been very, very physical. And this was his answer about how ready he is to get out there and play against Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I feel like I'm ready to go, man. I was thinking, I'm just ready to play, man. The stuff I want to say, I can't really say, but I'm just ready to play.
I think that came through. He was sitting up in his chair when he started to say that, and he was like, I can't say, and you feel like, and I'm speculating here, but that's the point of a radio show, I feel like he's saying, like, we're going to get these guys. And I have no idea, sitting right now, if LSU can do it. I don't know if they can cover him. I don't know if they can get to Jackson Dart and force him some bad decisions. I don't know. I hope. I don't know. And Greg Penn doesn't either. But they've got a plan. They've been hearing about this for 2 weeks. They felt that pain last year in Oxford where they simply could not get a stop under any circumstance, and they want to be part of the group that fixes it. I don't think anybody that follows the program or on the outside believes this defense to be talented enough to go chase an SEC and national championship. If they do that, man, I will sit here and just be so glad I was dead wrong. But I don't feel like that's the case. But they can start moving things in the right direction. And you gave up 55 to these guys last year. That needs to be cut in half. Like, that's what you have to do if you're going to start showing signs of improvement. And we'll see if they can do it. But it was an interesting energy with the defensive players yesterday. I mean, Greg Penn is always full of energy, and Savion Jones was like, yeah, we're gonna we're going to get these guys. We're going to get some revenge. Like, we understand the assignment here. And that's really the most fascinating piece to this entire game. I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on how well LSU is going to move the ball offensively. I think it'll be well. I think they're going to score a lot of points. I can't rule out Ole Miss scoring 48 on this secondary, and I can't rule out LSU in that environment with that stadium behind it making some big plays and coming up big against this Ole Miss offense. I can't rule either one of them out. There are a lot of times where with LSU over the years where you've known what it's going to look like. In the Les era, you knew they were going to run the ball. You knew they were going to play good defense. Did you know if they were going to win or lose? No, but you knew what it was going to look like. Last year, they were going to be in a shootout with everybody. It just is what you knew what it was going to look like, and maybe they had the ball last and won. Maybe they didn't. This one, I don't know. And I've got, I guess, 2 days to figure out what my pick is. But I can tell you these guys are confident in what they've been taught and confident in their abilities. We'll just have to see if they can make it pay off on Saturday night. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.